this.
What's going on, guys? So, there's always that drama, and I'd like to talk about that for a little bit, because I find it almost, what would the word be, annoying? I don't know, sure. So if you don't know, there's videos going around, H9's, Mo capital G, and I'm not even going to talk about what the video is about, because it's completely irrelevant, because this has happened before. It's happened tons of times. It's something that happens a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh! And just YouTube in general. So this is not more Yu-Gi-Oh! Based as it is YouTuber based, but it's still, it revolves around Yu-Gi-Oh! So, before I say anything, this is nothing against these YouTubers, which people would be like, if you're talking about them, it's obviously against them. If you're making a video about it, it's obviously against them. I'm a low YouTuber. I don't expect this video to get more than 1,000 views. It will get less than 1,000 views, most likely. But, if it went over 1,000, it would probably just barely go over 1,000. So it's not like I'm a big person getting my name out, kind of trying to do something. And usually my titles are pretty relaxed, so this title will probably be just drama. That'll probably be the title of this video. But anyways, to get off the bat, I watched Mega Capital G, I watched Asian Eyes. I like both of them. I know people have things to say about either of them, but I watch Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube not to be, I mean, I do watch to be entertained, but if I watch to be entertained and want information, I usually watch, To Silent Sigma. I know that's not his name anymore on YouTube, but that's what I know him by. DP Yu-Gi-Oh! Or whatever it is now. Deep Print, I don't know. I forget, but I watch him because he's informative, funny, and it's good stuff. But when it comes to Mega Capital G and Asian Eyes, I watch it for info. I don't watch Asian Eyes every single video. I usually don't watch dual videos from them because I have other channels where I like to watch dual videos. So when it comes to information, whatever you have to say about them, I like them for information. I like Mega Capital G, I like Asian Eyes. I think they both can be funny. I think they both have their own quirks. So before you guys freak out like, oh, you hate one or the other, or you're talking shit on the other. No, I'm for both. There's nothing that I really don't do or dislike about them. They're fine to me. So that being said, I have, along with other YouTubers, is they liked, not just them, there's other ones that jump in. There's always the other YouTubers that want to jump in, take their slice of the pie, talk about it, but they always want to start drama. Now, I was actually always interested, do they start this crap about certain topics or something, and they discuss it between each other to get viewership? Because on YouTube, drama makes viewership. PewDiePie talked about, I forget what it was, a few months ago, and then everybody else started talking about it and making videos towards it, Markiplier, stuff like that. They all had to have their own version, and since it sounded similar to, I don't know if PewDiePie was first, but I think he might have actually been second or third, I forget who started it. But they all started talking about shit, and they all got millions of views, and because it all shared, and even people who didn't get millions of views got millions of views, because it was talking about the same topic of drama topic, not necessarily about drama, that they all posted, and that made them together, and they had inflicting ideas against each other, so that made somebody want to watch the other video to see what the other person said. So that's why I always thought, do these people talk between each other, like, hey man, you want to both get, like, good amount of views on this video so we can, like, share content? Now, I'm not saying they did that, but it was always just thought in my mind. I kind of doubt it, because Mega Capital G always kind of seems to be not like Asian Eyes, from what I've gathered from watching both of them for the past, like, 3 years. Asian Eyes usually doesn't seem to care, honestly. Like, he'll make videos, but he always seems like he'd rather just not talk about this towards Mega Capital G, but Mega Capital G always wants to make a video. And like I said, I'm not dissing either of them, but they always want to do this. So, what am I getting down to? Is right now they're talking about a video if it has skill or not. I'm not going to give my 2 thoughts on it. I think I've already had a video about Yu-Gi-Oh! Skill or something before. People are going to be like, well, you're not a competitive player, have a bunch of information. So yeah, I'm not going to give my 2 cents on it because I don't feel like listening to that bullshit, and really, it's not really a topic that I could really say anything about that they haven't already. But I already know there's probably going to be more YouTubers that jump on their video and, you know, try to right in. And Nim already did it, but he did it in a sarcastic way, which I feel like was the best thing to do. It just, like, 4-second video. Done. Like, that was funny. But there will be people that also make long 12-minute rebuttals, and it's all about making a point to make views. And once again, just to defend myself, people were like, you're probably just doing this because you want to make views. Yes, I would like to grow my channel. I make videos, but it's because I enjoy it as a hobby. Even if I became a job on this, like made enough money to live off of, which I would require a whole lot more subscribers and constant viewership to do that. whole lot. When I mean whole lot, like quadruple, maybe even more than quadruple, like to 8 times to 10 times more to make a minimum living, I would still be going to school and still have a job because YouTube to me is not a full life plan. If I was a big YouTuber, 3 million views, I would still go get my college degree. I would still maybe even work a part-time job simply because you want work experience. You don't want to work for YouTube for 5 years and have YouTube die and then have nothing to go for it. It's like, well, I can't have a job because I have no fucking experience for dick and I'm 34 years old. Like, no, I'm not going to be like that. And that's not a diss to anybody else because a lot of them will probably have money saved by the time they could counteract anything anyways. But with that being said, there are YouTubers who will use this opportunity to jump on a video to make more views. And I'm not saying I haven't done this. I have done this. So I'm not, that's why I know other YouTubers do it. Because I've done it, but it's not because I think I'm going to go gain a bunch of subscribers. It's an opportunity to make a video to discuss something to get views. Because we are YouTubers, and that's what we like. When I get a bunch of views on a video, I'm stoked. As like, I have 8,000 videos in my top 10 budget decks with actually very positive feedback. So that is something that makes me like enjoy. It's like, okay, I have positive feedback, I made a decent video, and it's gotten a good amount of views in comparison to my channel subscribers amount. It's good. But it's starting to get ridiculous because they'll just keep going back and forth. I don't know when it will end. It might not ever. But they're arguing a point to argue nothing. So one lies or says stuff, the other will prove them wrong, and then they will prove them wrong, but there will still be information that's left unanswered. It's like a presidential debate. They will say things, and they will only answer to some things, and the things they knew they were wrong on, or they have nothing to say to, they'll completely ignore it ever happened, or just not touch basis on it. And honestly, I feel like it just starts to make them both look dumb. I mean, I'm saying this with respect. I'm not saying that they're dumb people, but it starts to be like, okay, yo, I want to make some points out here. They're already big established YouTubers when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, everybody would like more subscribers and views, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! You can only go so high. They act like, sometimes, and other YouTubers too, I'm just using them as an example, will act like they are like 12 years old in middle school debating about who fucking had the best South Park episode. That's happened to me, so that's why I'm using that as an example. They talk about things and blow them way out of proportion. What they have to understand is, about this subject they're arguing about is all about perspective. Agent Eyes explained his point and he did everything, but that's his perspective. Mega Capital G did explain it too, and that's his perspective, but he has to go on about and cut Asian Eyes completely, try to cut him in half, without understanding that his is his perspective. You're allowed to have perspective. I'm not defending Asian Eyes either, because Asian Eyes, instead of just accepting it and taking the video, of course, he has to go right back at Mega Capital G. When I don't think, if either of them understand that, it's just purely their perspective. People are like, well, there's no perspective. It's fact. Well, that's the thing. When somebody has their own perspective of something, that means that's their view on it, and your view might differ from their view, and their view might differ from their view, and these 10 pro Yu-Gi players might have a different view than them. There's always different views. So you can't really argue to somebody. You can explain your point and defend your point, and he can still direct it to Asian Eyes. I don't find any problem with that. If he wants to do a reply to Asian Eyes video, but he's arguing something towards Asian Eyes that can't really be argued because that's Asian Eyes' perspective. He's like trying to change, I don't know what he's trying to prove to either of them. I don't know what they're trying to prove to each other. Are they trying to change what the other person thinks, which I know both of them know won't happen, or are they trying to persuade viewers for no reason? Because Asian Eyes viewers will watch Asian Eyes videos, and Mega Capital G's videos will watch Mega Capital G's videos. So why are they? That's why it always makes me think, I'm like, are they doing this on purpose to gain views? Which is fine if they want to. I don't care. That's cool. Like, go for it. But if they're actually arguing or debating or whatever have you, I just don't get it. Like, someone's not going to sit here and change my views towards racism. Like they're like, you should really hate black people. It's like, dude, I don't. So, like, I don't know what you want me to do about it. I don't care how many points you put out. I'm going to put a bunch of points out, too. And I don't expect you to change, and I don't expect me to change. Now, I know that's completely a different topic to Yu-Gi-Oh!, but there's nothing that I could make that guy who's racist see my equal side, and there's no way I'm going to make my equal sides change this racist. It's just how the world works and how people work. So, I don't know. I feel like this all rolls down to what I'm talking about is in Yu-Gi-Oh! People get really upset and dramatic about topics that is mostly perspective to some degree. Now, somebody's saying that bottomless trap hole does not banish a monster. Now, that's not perspective. Now you are talking about something that's not fact. But you saying bottomless trap hole is a bad card, that's perspective. And that is the same thing that is happening right now. And that's just, and that there's people fighting back and forth and a bunch of other YouTubers getting on top. To prove, I don't know, that one of them's right and has the biggest dick in the room. Now, this video might seem like I'm coming off as like a pretentious asshole, but if anybody sits down and relaxes and just watches it all, I'm pretty sure most of you could get like the same idea of the rambling I have talked about. And I'm not going to tag any of them in this. This will just be for my viewers. So, yeah. That's all I got to say about that. There was no real end point, just to say that it's pointless.
Damn.